Every day's a chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine. Hey.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today.
Lift up my voice
and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AGNT Speaks. I am your host, Erin McCabe. I serve at Unity Village Chapel, which is the Unity Center on grounds at Unity Village, Unity World Headquarters. And I am delighted each week to come to you with AGNT Speaks. This is our last AGNT Speaks of 2021. And so we're using today to get grounded in our vision, grounded in our intention, to go back through time a little bit and look at the history of AGNT. AGNT started in 1997 by our founding members, and we're going to experience a vision of those founding members that they launched in 2012 and just talk about what our vision is today and how we can bring our vision and our intention from the past and elevate it, ground it, retell that story so that we can move forward into the new year with consciousness and intention. So it's a delight today to get to honor the founding members of AGNT and to really hear what was going on at that time and look at what's going on now and look at where our focus, our intention, and our minds can be.
In New Thought, we believe that we are not separate from the earth in which we live. We're actually a part of it. And when we operate from that understanding, from that belief, the choices that we make and the things that we do and in the way that we live have a positive impact on our planet. We know in New Thought the power of thought. We know the power of consciousness. We know the power of the spoken word. And so we believe that it is absolutely essential for us to also hold a different vision, a new vision of our place on the planet, the way that we work within the ecosystem, so that we can heal the crisis that we see all around us.
New Thought has so much to offer in the areas of social cohesion in village and city. First of all, we teach the oneness of all beings and put this into practice. And out of that oneness of all beings, we celebrate the diversity that is expressed in all ways, whether it's culturally, ethnically, spiritually, all the ways that humans flower into expression. We celebrate that. What we have noticed is that over time, humans have fallen into the consciousness of separation and fear. New Thought calls us back home to an honoring of all beings, their essential spiritual essence, and finding bridges that can connect us back to harmony and back to our original co-creativity.
Everybody agrees that the earth is in crisis from lots of different points of view, and yet at the very moment we see that, we teach that everything that exists arises from thought. The Buddha said it, Jesus said it in a little bit different language. If we understand that what looks like a crisis today has arisen from thought, what an amazing opportunity for us to pause and not be overwhelmed by, boy, what a mess we made. But to understand that from the messes we've made can arise amazing opportunities. So even though there is a crisis and it's clear, I think you could surely argue that it's here, what an opportunity for mankind to make the jump and to shift to what they've been talking about from the ages of time, to actually make this shift and live in heaven for everybody.
New Thought, Ageless Wisdom is a recent articulation of what these indigenous cultures, as we're calling them, have been holding for years. We're just articulating it in a new way. And they're reminding us as to what's inherently true about all of us. So how can we begin to allow individuals that have been so disenfranchised to maintain their cultural identity while at the same time participating in the evolutionary impulse that's carrying all of us forward? Now, once these questions are sincerely asked, then the universe answers them. Now, if we don't sincerely ask the question, we don't get the answer. So I think that that's a place to start.
The New Thought principle that comes to mind is that intelligence is driving evolution. Evolution did not create intelligence. It's the other way around. So that we have a conviction that this intelligence is innate in every person, all sentient beings really, runs through nature, runs through the universe. It's pervasive and present everywhere. And that as we awaken to our spiritual wholeness, we also awaken to the realization that that intelligence is available to us as we are accessible to it. So what I mean by that is that I have faith in humanity.
Take a look at some estimates. I've seen a couple of different estimates about what kind of economic input would it take to begin to heal world's poverty. The answer keeps coming up somewhere between $30 and $35 billion a year. So here's the proposition. If the 1,000 largest global corporations were to give 1% of their net profits per year, just 1%, it would create that healing. In other words, 1% would create somewhere between $30 and $35 billion per year. Quite a solution. So as opposed to generosity from an individual to another individual or a group of other individuals, I think we need to take a look at a collective consciousness of generosity for all.
Our consciousness, our intentions, the words that we speak, the commitments that we make, all of those things are the ways in which we go forth into creation. And so in these times when things are so challenging, we find that we have this place to stand that is in spiritual truth and in the wholeness of our own being and in the ability to have a new idea and a new thought and bring forth a new experience, regardless of what it is that's taken place. And I think as a species, we're just beginning to truly harness these kinds of things in a way that I know is going to make a tremendous difference for all of us.
One heart, one mind, one community, one people. That is the founding intention, is looking at these greater world issues and solving them on the level of consciousness, not solving them from the level of human thinking and human awareness, looking at what is limiting us, but rather acknowledging that it is always thought, it is always consciousness that limits us. So these are global conversations. We have been so focused in a lot of the United States and in a lot of countries on what's going on in our own space, in our own world, because there has been a lot going on. But it's important to remember, especially at this time of year, and it's important to go into the new year, remembering that we have a global focus, that we have a global purpose, that we are part of a global system, and that if we are participating in conversations like these, if we are participating in the consciousness that is AGNT and these collective ideas and visions, that it is important for us to be standing in our principle and standing in our practice. Probably many of us feel frustrated by how frequently we come back to some of the same problems. I know in that presentation, I am immediately triggered by the images of children and hunger. I grew up with those images, as many of you did, and it is so disturbing. It's disturbing to live in a house with an extra bedroom when there is one child on the planet that does not have enough food. It is so disturbing that we somehow in the human condition go along moving forward into what's next without resolving those issues. And there has never been a time like this. There has never been a time like this where we are so connected, where we are so capable, where it is so accessible to create inventive and creative solutions to all of the issues that we saw in that video. The missing link is the consciousness. If we stay in a consciousness of lack, if we stay in a consciousness of mine, my own, or that somehow there's not enough, somehow if we resolve global issues, then someone won't have enough. Someone that has will not have enough. Then these issues will continue throughout time. And as we saw indigenous communities suffering, as we saw children suffering, as we saw the environment suffering, these things will continue until we make a decision, and a different decision. And it's really instantaneous, because these are not problems of spirit and of source. These are not problems that are created by nature. These are problems created in the human condition. And they're based on the human condition of lack and the human condition of separation. When we believe in lack and when we believe in separation, we see what we're seeing now. And it is incumbent upon each one of us to not only be a part of the vision, but take a stand for the new systems that match our vision and match our consciousness, because all of these things could actually be resolved in real time right now. There is so much that can be done that's not being done. I love Tom Zender. I got to spend a lot of time with him, and I love how he spoke to the vision of collective generosity. And what does that look like? It is true that when one is suffering, others suffer. We cannot separate ourselves from suffering. It's an illusion to think that we can have people suffering on this planet, people suffering in communities, and that it's not going to affect everyone. And unfortunately, some people need to hear it's going to affect them in order to stand for change and in order to start making change. But there are so many solutions, and there are so many leaders today that are coming up with visions and ideas that are mind-blowing, visionary, incredible opportunities launching to solve a lot of these issues. If we have the intention, the real intention, and the consciousness to step forward into our power to do that. But somewhere in the human condition, there's still a thought. There's a thought that it's okay the way we're doing it, that it's okay somehow to just move into the next day and let these things continue. Clean water, food, and secure food for all of humanity. The environment and how we care for the environment. So let's really get in touch with our vision today. Let's get in touch with our vision beyond our own personal lives, beyond our local communities, beyond our countries, and launch into a vision for all of humanity, for our species, for the planet, and allow ourselves the space to start speaking that vision, to give it voice, to join together and to have these conversations, to pick up the phone or post something about what your vision is, what you see, how you know we can step forward into this new year with a new consciousness, how you know that thought is magnetic, that it draws to it like-minded substance to create from. There was a piece in the video where we saw that line of intelligence drives evolution. There is more than enough intelligence, more than enough intelligence. There are so many people stepping forward to do great work. And if we don't have the ideas ourselves, well, it's time for us to figure out how we can put our support forward to empower the ideas and the visions and the visionaries that we believe in. It's not enough anymore to just sit beside and hope that someone else will do it in whatever way, whether it's financial, whether it's with our voice, whether it's with our action and showing up, whether it's with our smarts and writing letters and getting engaged in society in deeper ways and global issues. It's for each one of us to step forward and to begin to resolve these systematic problems, knowing that the truth is so many of them can be solved instantaneously when we look at the level of thought. There are no doubt things that are affecting each one of our lives. I mean, I just signed up for my insurance the other day at the healthcare marketplace, and my credits went down and my premiums went up, and it's frustrating. I mean, I looked at the numbers and I thought, what is this? This can't be right. Can this be right? That's not, it is not making sense that it could be this bad. My out-of-pocket maximum is over $17,000 for the year, and I think my deductible is over $8,000. And that's me. And I am crushed, like just filling out the forms. I had to bring myself back from tears thinking about even just right here in our country, people navigating this system and getting decent health care. And then you think about the world, and it can be heartbreaking. So let's take that heartbreak and let's let our hearts break open, and let's find the people with the ideas. Let's empower the people with the vision. Let's put our money where our minds are. Let's stand together in what we know is possible. Let's keep having these conversations. Let's keep having them and keep them alive, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to create a world where people make a living wage, where people can have families and parent children without having to rush back to work when a child is still breastfeeding, where people have health care, where people have safety, knowing that they're going to be treated equally by a system that supports their well-being, where we have systems that aren't trying to kind of leading people into systems of lack or enabling life not to work, right? But that are empowering people, valuing education, really standing for education and valuing how education benefits all of humanity. So I when I want to get inspired, when I feel somewhat defeated by looking at what was happening in the past and what's happening now, and visions of the past and visions of the future, and I want to get out of the mentality that says, oh, is this just how it is? Is it going to stay like this? What inspires me is to find people who are doing incredible work. So people that have incredible ideas. I know that we all have people like that in our world who we see how they show up and we trust them. We see their ideas and we believe in them. Marianne Williamson talks about a department of peace and having a department of peace. Michael Moore hosts numerous podcasts and conversations about really stepping in to what is possible. There are politicians who are standing up for the greater good. There are so many people today. There are young people that are inventing technologies that clean the ocean and resolve issues with the environment. There is so much going on that if we can let go of the belief that we are stuck and we will stay stuck, or that somehow this is how it's supposed to be or just how it is, and we can lean in to what we see that is good, what we see that is revolutionary, what we see that is magnetic and dynamic, we can lift our awareness and we can draw forth evolutionary wisdom. That's what's ours to do. So I invite you into a time at this year end, a time of meditation, a time of visioning, where we all just breathe into what is possible. Make the list of what we want to let go of in the collective. Make the list of what we want to release, what we want to no longer be enabling and empowering, and then say the mighty prayer and be willing to do the work. Say the mighty prayer, show me how I am enabling these things that I no longer want to support. Show me where I might be supporting them. Show me how my money might be going to them. Show me how my vote might be going to them. Show me how my complacency might be building these things that I no longer am willing to support. And then show me, sweet spirit, show me those to look at, to look to, and show me what is mine to do. When we step into this practice, there is greatness, and we are part of the evolutionary progress of consciousness. Friends, I wish you a happy new year and a blessed and sacred end of year. I invite each one of us to take this transition into a new year very mindfully. Please share with us in the posts and the comments. Share your visions. Share who you know that is doing things that you want others to know about and support. Share the vision you have for the world. We thank everyone who has been a part of AGNT since its founding days. And we bless everyone who is coming to us in the future. And we thank you for being a part of the consciousness that is global new thought. Namaste.